Prodigy Show, coming to you live from high atop Mount Georgia. How you doing? I hope life's been good to you so far. Happy Thanksgiving 2022. It's great to be here with you. There's plenty to be thankful for. We can be thankful for our family, our good friends, our health, and if you've got a guitar to play, that's really all you need. So we're here today to talk about Gibson Les Pauls with humbuckers. I'm going to start going through my collection of those. You know, a few weeks back we looked at the Les Pauls with the P90 single coil pickup, and now I just want to touch briefly on the ones that I have with humbuckers. So this particular one is a 2019 Les Paul Classic. Now, Classic has a lot in common with its older brother, the Les Paul Standard, which I think most people are more familiar with. The Classic is a variation on that. Years ago, back in the early 90s, the Classic was actually used to do reissue models of some of the Les Pauls. There was like a 1960 reissue Gold Top that was a classic, and then they did a Burst. So those, you know, predated the reissues, the R9s, the R8s, the Murphy Lab, all the custom shop. This was before the custom shop really existed, right? So the Classic was used in those times for that purpose. But in more modern times, it's interesting because the Classic has now become this version of the Standard, but with some more modern upgrades, which seems counterintuitive in a sense, right? The Classic, you would think, is more of a traditional Les Paul, but the new ones are not, and I'll explain why. But first, I'll tell you where I got this one. So I got this guitar, it was Christmas Eve 2021, and I was in Chicago wrapping up a whirlwind of travel. It seemed like I'd been out for about 6 months straight almost, and I was in Chicago waiting to fly home, and I had a few hours to kill, so I went to Chicago Music Exchange to do a little Christmas shopping. Dangerous place. So that's an awesome store. It's in downtown Chicago, sort of the north side. And it's chock full of vintage and brand new guitars and amazing stuff. And they actually own reverb.com, so they're connected in that sense. But anyway, I went in there and was just poking around, and they have just a giant wall filled with all manner of Les Pauls, you know, Bursts, reissues, R9s, Standards, customs, all just everything you could ever dream of. It's a Les Paul, you know, paradise for those who love them. And this was also right around the time that the Beatles Get Back documentary was being released, and we were all in great anticipation of being able to watch that over the holidays. And it reminded me that, you know, there's the fabled George Harrison Red Les Paul, the Lucy, which I've actually named this one Lucy in honor of George and his guitar. But the Lucy Les Paul, if you don't know the story behind that guitar, I highly recommend, you know, looking up a YouTube video or two. Just put in George Harrison Lucy, and I'm sure you'll find everything you need to know. But that guitar has just the most unbelievable story from where it started before George got it, through all the different, you know, things that happened over the course of the time he had it, and even, you know, now beyond. So that's really worth checking out. But anyway, I saw this, I was seeing red. Saw this Red Les Paul, and I thought, oh man, this is really a good looking guitar. And I picked it up and just kind of playing it, couldn't put it down. And the salesman came over and he said, you know, it looks to me like you think you're really going to buy that guitar, aren't you? I said, you know, this might be my little Christmas present to me to kind of celebrate, you know, all the work that I've done in 2021, and, you know, take this home with me and enjoy it. So I did, and it's so this is again, it's a classic. It's got the zebra pickup. So I never really was that into uncovered humbuckers. The humbuckers that I typically would see. You've got the either chrome or nickel or even gold covers on them. I never really was one for the exposed look until I saw this guitar, and I just kind of loved how the zebra pickups lined up with the cream colored cover and the binding, and it just, I don't know, it just looked really great to me. And also the top. Now the thing about classics is they usually don't use premium tops on them. More often than not, they're gold tops, or if it's a top like this, it's a kind of an unfigured top. If it's a burst, it's pretty plain looking. But in this case, this one really has some nice figuring to it. More than you would normally see on a classic. So that also really, really attracted me to it. But for me, it's all about the neck. And the neck just has that nice slim 60 neck on it. And it feels great. And that's really why I wanted it. Grover tuners, which is another kind of modernization. But the biggest modernization on this one is they put in split coil pickups. And, I don't really use them all that much. It's not really why I bought it. So what they do is, you can split the coils if you put it in middle position, or in this case, the bridge. So you can get that quick stratty kind of sound if you need it. Like I guess if you were playing out with this guitar and you don't want to be switching between strats and stuff, it might be cool for that. I don't really use them all that much. If I want to play a Strat, I'll play a Strat. If I want to play Les Paul, I'll play this guy. But it's nice to know they're there if you need them. But that was, that's another kind of modern feature that they're putting on the classics, these days. But other than that, it's a pretty much a Les Paul standard, in every respect. The single binding. It's not a light guitar. They claim that they're chambered, but it's right around 9.5 pounds. So, if they're chambered, they didn't relieve much of the weight on these, at all. But that's okay. Let's see what else. Anything else on this guitar? That's pretty much the story behind this one. This was going to be my one and only, Gibson Les Paul with humbuckers until a couple of months ago. Some more temptation came along. And I'll show that, guitar in my next one. I was going to show them all in the same video, but I kind of want to take a few minutes with each one and explain a little bit more about the models and, what each one has for features and how I got it, that kind of thing. So I don't want to rush and I don't want to take up too much of your time each video. I guess I'll just update. The Telecaster build is coming along really nicely. I'm taking my time with it. Should be done pretty soon. I hope to be able to demonstrate that, in the next few weeks or so. And also, I'm going to do another Les Paul video coming up real soon and show you the most amazing Les Paul standard in the world, in my opinion. So, other than that, I'm going to say happy Thanksgiving to you and to your family. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope you have a great, great holiday and that you're safe and healthy and be good to one another. And with that, I will just say until next time, this is Paulie G reminding you that when it comes to guitars, you only need one. More. See ya.